Hey ladies and gents, this is Linda Fitchick777 and today I'm coming at you with a guest design team project for SaCrafters. Now this project is actually listed, it's a wooden project obviously because you guys know I love to work with the wood products from Sa's shop, and is actually listed as a shadow box. Okay, it's if you go into Sa's .com page at the top and you click on MDF wood, and then you scroll down and click on shadow boxes, you'll find this somewhere near the 7th page, something like that. And it is actually called the wood shadow box with a drawer. Okay, so I'm going to move my sign out of the way and show you what I came up with. When I went to go, I wanted to give you, I'm going to back up one moment before I move my sign out of the way. When I wanted to go get the actual name of this piece for you, I went under storage first because it has a drawer, but it's actually listed under shadow boxes, and that is what I love about this project, that it is in turn a storage piece. It has a single drawer, albeit a small storage piece, but it's totally cute. And if you don't have a lot of space for it, you can create something totally cute and have storage, but then it's got the shadow box area to create inside of as well. So you can really do some fun creative elements with this. So now I'm going to move my sign out of the way and show you what I came up with. Okay, I love this piece. I know, right? I love this. I adore it. This one I think is staying in my stash. If I give it away, I'm going to enjoy it for a while before I give it away. It might be months before someone else gets it because I just totally love this. Anyway, this piece measures, I grabbed my ruler to measure it, but I was thinking, I have Sa's page up here on my iPad here. It measures about 6 1/4 inches tall, from the very back piece, and then about 4 3/4 inches wide here, and then it's about 3 1/4 inches in depth. Okay, so good, didn't have to get my ruler. Or I did get it, but I didn't have to use it. Anyway, so the paper I chose for this, I pulled out Prima Almanac paper, and thank you Sabrina, who's Sabrina Ann here on YouTube. She just gifted me some almanac paper. I have some, but it's in the 12 by 12 sheets, and when she sent me a little 6 by 6 pad in it, perfect, because I was wanting to use almanac paper, but I didn't want to cut up my 12 by 12 sheet. So perfect, thank you Sabrina, because I wanted to go with peaches and creams, and obviously because of wood products, browns on this project. So let me kind of turn it around for you. Actually, before I do that, let me raise my camera up and down, and then lower it down and bring this up. It's easier for me standing upright to kind of bring it up to the camera. So let's just get a good look here. Okay, turn it around. As usual, sewed all the edges of my papers, distressed all the edges, pulled out some stencils, little microdot stencil here, and my favorite stencil, the Crafters Workshop Art is stencil. Okay. And then what I did is I took my acrylic paint mixed with sand and a pounce brush. I will often do this on my stencils. I will pounce it really lightly on the stencil so you can see it gives it a powdery effect, and it kind of pops out the stencil a little bit. Now this back piece, since my paper was 6 by 6, just a slight bit short, but I took the cue from the paper pad. A lot of the paper pads are kind of collage type, so I cut off a couple of strips from other paper and sewed it together and just kind of made a collage out of it, and now it fits perfectly. Okay, and again, you can kind of see the powdery effect on the stencils. And then I put that acrylic paint mixed with sand on my embellishments as well. So as I said, it's got a little drawer. Now this drawer fits tightly. I'm going to pull it out. It moves in and out wonderfully, but it fits tightly. What I did is I just kind of painted the whole base, the piece, I guess, and then I painted the drawer. But I was going to say, it fits so tightly that normally when I have drawers, I will, you know, cover the outer edge as well as the inside. But this drawer is a nice snug fit, which I like. It's not too tight, it's just snug fit. So if this thing, you know, you turn this thing upside down, the drawer isn't going to fall out. But I just had to leave the sides and the bottom just painted, which was very hard for me. But I did cover the front, and then I covered the inside, the tops, you know, the bottoms, the sides. And then I added the drawer. I'm going to turn it this way. You can see the ugly back of it. But the drawer actually comes with a notch in it. And I believe it comes with a tiny little rectangular piece of wood. It's kind of hard to explain, but so I've got this piece of paper here. It's like a tiny little piece of wood about that big that glues onto the front of the drawer. So if you choose to use it, it acts like a little drawer pull. Do you know what I'm saying? But I had these cute little door knockers in my stash. And this actually came from Sa's shop many moons ago. I have old product when she used to carry some metal product in her store, charms and things like that. This was one of the door knocks from her shop, and I had two in my stash that I was hoarding. And so I put one on here, fit perfectly. I liked it coming up over the top edge a little bit. I didn't want it to bring it down because I liked kind of that dimension. So, but it fits perfectly. Oopsie, yeah, you can see it that way, can't you? It fits perfectly on that little half moon hole there. The front of this, I've got a little bit of the artist stencil down there again, and then my favorite of all time, Prima Vines. I'm down to one package left. I keep searching the internet, hoping somebody will bring them back. I don't even know if Prima carries them on their website anymore. It's the Summer Carnation Vines, and they came in all different colors, and I had pinks and peaches. And I'm down to peach left, and I took one of the vines and I cut them up. This project has to mean a lot when it has a Prima Summer Carnation vine on it. All my pink ones are gone, but I did cut up my peach one, and like I said, one left, and I will probably hoard that for a year. It's going to be on a very special project or to a very special person when you see the Summer Carnation vine. Just an FYI. Anyway, so there is the drawer. Slides in very nicely inside. You can see it goes in, well, when I'm not in an angle trying to go around my camera. It comes in and out very nicely. The drawer, let me bring it up and show you. See, slides in and out. Really nice, but it's just too snug to cover it on the sides. But that's fine. It gives it a nice clean look there. So anyway, and like I said, put that over the top because I just like the little decoration it gave for the rest of the scene in here. Let's see. Didn't do much to the, all I did for stenciling wise is in the very back on the paper. You can see maybe a little bit of stenciling right back here. Like you were there, now you can see the stenciling back there. So there, I brought the stenciling forward. I also stenciled on the two heart pieces there. There's a little bit of script you can see on that back piece and the micro dots on the front piece. What I did, let's just start with the heart. It's easiest. I was trying to decide if I should start in the bottom or not, but let's start with the heart. This is a, the back piece is a chipboard heart I had in my stash. I've covered the back of it. You can see the chipboard heart piece there. And then I used some Prima resin wings. I covered the back with texture paste because, you know, when you get a lot of the Prima resin embellishments, they have the strongest, stickiest glue tape on the back because, you know, they stick it to the packaging material. And even though I melt it with the heat gun to get the glue tape off, it still leaves residue and looks ugly. So I covered the back because, you know, you can see this from the back with the acrylic paint mixed with sand there. So anyway, that's on the back of the chipboard heart. And then the front heart is a wooden heart from my stash. And then what I did is I had some of that die cuts with the View 6x6 burlap paper. So I just, you know, traced the wooden heart onto the burlap paper and cut it out, glued the burlap to the front. After I sewed it, I did sew the edges of it. Probably really can't see No, he can't, but I know it's there. Sewed the edges of the burlap before I glued it on. And then some chipboard that I use from Saw's shop. It's not very often I use chipboard products from her shop, but I love the brick wall pieces. And let me see real quick if it's by me, because I don't want to hunt for an hour to see if I've got that next to me in my stash. Well, I've got a piece of it. You get 2 long strips. Let me show you. And she's got it in wood as well, but I like to use the chipboard on this. I don't know why I don't use the wood. I think it's because it's easier to cut maybe, so I use the chipboard. They come in, I'm going to say maybe 6 or 7 inches in length and about 2 inches wide. You get 2 pieces of those in a package. Okay, so chipboard there, and all I did was paint it white, just add a little dimension in the back. On top of that, I used a Prima metal pipe piece. On top of that, I've got a resin frame that's just from the $1.50 bin at Michael's. This wood hot air balloon is from SaCrafters. Isn't that adorable? I love these. I think you get 3 or 4 in a package. Love these. They are miniature. I'd say 2 inches maybe at most. Beautiful little hot air balloon. On front of that, I've got a little Prima metal clock face and a Prima clock hand. Dun, 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 dun. Bet you guys didn't know I was going to put those on there. Because I do on every project, don't I? And then I've got a little teeny tiny little bead landing gear right on top of that clock face. And then on top of that, this is a wooden sentiment from SaCrafters. It says cherish. Beautiful. These are so beautiful. And you get, she's got quite a few different sets of them. And she's got quite a few different designs of the wood sentiments as well. Rectangular ones, banners, these ones just beautiful. And then this is a Prima resin piece, a little parenthesis is the word I'm looking for on top of that, just to kind of, you know, clue your eye to the cherish. On the back, at the bottom of that heart, let me move this out of the way. That's what's kind of in my way there. You can see a Prima metal heart gear here. And then on top of that, this little XO, wooden XO, is from SaCrafters. I love these with the little arrows through it. Isn't that cute? And she's got words as well that have the arrows through the words, just like this XO. Okay, and then in the bottom, I just layered a bunch of wild orchid craft flowers in there, and peaches, a little bit of pinks and some whites. And then I also layered the other half of the Prima carnation vine in here. Just love these, the flowers. I just love them in the vine. I wish they would come back out with some of these. Love those, the leaves. And you can see some more of the little vines kind of in the back here. There's a couple of them back there. There you go, now you can see them. Just, they add such dimension, and they're just so shabby. I just love them. Anyway, and I've layered in there another Prima metal gear here. I painted the gears white with acrylic paint mixed with sand. And even though the Prima heart gears here by Ingvild Bohm, even though these are already white, they're kind of a creamy white, a little bit of an off-white. So I wanted them white to go with like the wings and stuff on the project. So, and then I added a little key here, just kind of laying on the flowers, on the vine there. Over here, this little clock, this little stopwatch clock, wooden clock, is from SaCrafters. In the front of that, I layered, this is a little metal frame. This is just an old frame. I found a box of these little mini metal frames at a garage sale. They're by Stampin' Up. So that's what this is, just one of those Stampin' Up little frames. This is a little Prima wood ticket here, layered on that. This is again another Prima metal heart gear. And then on top of that, I've got a teeny tiny little bead landing clock hand with a little brad there. And you can see the texture on it. I painted, like I said, the drawer and stuff is painted with the flat white because it had to be able to move in and out. And then around the perimeter of my base, I used acrylic paint mixed with sand, so it would tie in with all my embellishments, and so you could see all the texture on the heart there and everything. And then in front of that, this little wood word, noted, is from SaCrafters shop. Love it. So cute. You get a set of 6 of them, I believe, when you get these. words, and 3 of them come with a little kind of underline on them, which is great when you just want to set it on top, which is what I did. And then 3 of them come, and it's a little bit bigger in size, come without kind of the little base on the bottom. Okay, so there is my project for SaCrafters. Like I said, I love this, and if I give it away, I'm going to enjoy it for a while first. Anyway, I will have all the links down below to SaCrafters. I will have the links down below to my blog and Pinterest account where you can see close-up photos of my projects. If the particular project you are watching on this video doesn't show up on my blog because I didn't get to it, I always have a quick moment to post to my Pinterest account. Just go under the heading of my projects and you will see the pictures there. There will also be a coupon code down below, Linda Fans, F-A-N-S, all in capitals, one word, to use at SaCrafters.com for 10% off your $30 order. Okay, I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.